Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
Harmony knew what he was laughing at. So, she hastily covered her neck. "Don't laugh. I told you not to kiss me there." Ezekiel smiled. "It's all right. I want everyone to know you're mine." "Are you friends with the Presgraves?" Harmony asked curiously. "Yep. Our families have been friends for generations. My dad's good friends with the Presgrave family's head." Harmony leaped into his embrace. She loved his scent. She would stay in his embrace forever if she could. Ezekiel patted her head and kissed it. "We'll go to the boutique later." "It's all right. I can get Sarah to go with me." "You can get back to work if you have to," said Harmony in consideration. Ezekiel smiled. "Thanks for your understanding." Harmony asked Sarah to go on a trip to the boutique in the afternoon. The Presgrave banquet was no ordinary banquet. Thus, they had to be more meticulous with the gown. Ezekiel gave her a black card and told her to try out all the gowns she liked. Money was no problem. Harmony didn't want to take it at first, but Ezekiel insisted. So, she took it from him. Samantha was also getting busy in the boutique. She picked a sexy gown for the night. Even if she couldn't seduce Ezekiel, she had to snag someone. Besides, all the guests for the Presgrave banquet were rich and powerful. She would never let this chance go. Samantha was on the couch, served by a waitress. She then saw someone coming in. When she raised her head, she met Harmony's eyes. Samantha rose to her feet. "What a coincidence. Don't tell me you're going to the Presgrave banquet tonight." "You too?" Harmony asked. Samantha said smugly, "What? You think you can go, but not me? I have lots of resources and connections." Harmony said in disgust, "Sure, go. Just don't get in my way." "Sorry, but I'm there for Mr. Weiss." "I'll make sure he looks at me," said Samantha brazenly. Harmony narrowed her eyes and ignored her. That was the only way to deal with shameless people like Samantha. Samantha harumphed. "I'm challenging you, Harmony. I will make Mr. Weiss mine." Sarah said, "Your plan will fail, Samantha. Mr. Weiss will not fall for women like you." "We'll see." Samantha cocked her eyebrow. "I know men more than you two do." Harmony bit her lip. Then, she remembered what Ezekiel told her. With the friendship Ezekiel shares with the Presgraves, it's not hard to cancel Samantha's invitation, right? Harmony had never tried to attack anyone before. Yet, she really couldn't resist pulling such a stunt when it came to Samantha. This woman had gone too far. Harmony and Sarah went upstairs. The manager came over and introduced all the gowns and origins of those dresses. Harmony was big and famous enough that the public knew who she was. The manager wouldn't dare to slack off on this. Harmony was trying out gowns on the second floor. Samantha wondered what she would wear for the banquet. So, she found an excuse to come upstairs. When she saw that Harmony was trying the gown she tried earlier but couldn't afford to rent, she felt crushed. The gowns the waitress handed to Harmony were rare items or expensive ones. These weren't items money alone could afford. Only famous people could get their hands on them. Samantha might have made some money from the rich guys, but she didn't have any achievements she could be proud of, thanks to her little side job. On the other hand, after the Asian film Harmony starred in became a hit, she starred in an ad for a famous jewelry company. Then, she received a guest appearance in an international film. All these accomplishments had turned her into an A-lister in the industry almost overnight. Harmony was someone to be envied in the industry. Regular celebrities wouldn't even dare mock her now. Harmony saw Samantha peeping at her through the corner of her eye. She looked at Samantha, and Samantha seized the opportunity to make her presence known. She approached her, smiling. "I think you should pick another gown, Harmony. You don't have it in you to express the full beauty of this one." Sarah said, I don't suppose it's anything you should be worried about. Harmony has it in her to express the full beauty of anything she wears. Samantha's face fell in dismay as she said, I'll be waiting to witness your embarrassment tonight. I wonder if you can even get in, Harmony retorted, standing up. An amused Samantha arched her eyebrow. What? You think you can cancel my invitation? Harmony smiled. Perhaps I can. This time, Samantha couldn't maintain the smile on her face any longer. She decided not to get on Harmony's nerves further because she really needed to join this banquet. Harmony saw her off, and a gratified Sarah said, she should feel lucky you didn't go after her. I can't believe she came after you. Later that day, Harmony received a call from Ezekiel. He was here to pick her up. Harmony thought about it and brought her earlier plan up to Ezekiel. Samantha's going to show up tonight, but I don't want to see her, Ezekiel. Can you somehow stop her from showing up? Asked Harmony. Ezekiel hated women like Samantha as well. It was easy to grant Harmony her wish. All he had to do was call, and Harmony's mood wouldn't be ruined. Of course. Thus, Ezekiel called Jared. Hey, Jared, I need you to stop a certain guest from joining the banquet tonight. I don't want to see her there. No, she's not an important guest. Just someone's date. Sure, give me her name. I'll tell the guards to deny her entry, said Jared. After the call, Ezekiel put an arm around Harmony's shoulder. Don't worry. You don't have to see her tonight. Thank you. Harmony leaned on his chest, staring at the strobing neon lights outside. She was in a beautiful gown, looking like a princess, ready to attend a ball. She now understood why so many people wanted to climb the social ladder. The scenery at the top was gorgeous and relaxing. After she met Ezekiel, he was the one who took her hand and led her to a higher place in life to see the prettiest things this life had to offer. She was grateful and never greedy. Sometimes, she thought she couldn't even show off her delight. Otherwise, the gods might get jealous and snatch everything from her. The Pressgrave banquet saw top dogs from the world of politics and business gathered together. It was a friendly banquet, and Jared, the heir to the Pressgraves, was the host. Tons of reporters were outside the venue as well. They wouldn't dare expose the top dogs' identities and what they were doing, but if they could capture any photos with celebrities in them. That way, they wouldn't be sued if they posted it online. Lots of celebrities were joining that night. People from the world of MCs showed up, too. As dusk fell and lights shone brighter, a beautiful silhouette came out of a black car. She was the popular celebrity of the year, Harmony Mayo. She was holding the hand of a man who was obviously the rich kid of a really wealthy man. Plus, the woman that the man was holding hands with was gorgeous. Every wave of her hand and every gaze she gave the camera would gain furious clicks and shudders. Even the winds that night blessed her. When she turned around, her hair billowed in the wind. Frankly, she looked like an angel who had fallen to earth. She's gorgeous. I had no idea Harmony was this regal or this beautiful. Don't you know? Tons of hotties were in the movie she was in, but she shone brighter than all of them. She was just a mere newbie back then. Her looks are out of this world. After Harmony entered the venue, these reporters decided to take a break. Not too long later, someone else caught their eyes. Hey, that's Samantha. Quick. I can't believe she's here. Then again, it's not surprising. Wherever there are rich guys, she'll definitely be there. Samantha dressed for the occasion. She spent 6 figures renting this dress all to catch enough attention. The one place she stood out more than Harmony was how much she would reveal to the public, and the media loved taking photos of her skin. Samantha looked at the reporters and waved at them, showing off poses. The rich guy beside him was more than 50 years old as he said, "Let's go in. Don't want to be late." Samantha stopped posing and held the man's arm. Then, they went ahead. Guards were verifying the guests' identities at the entrance. The rich guy handed his invitation, and all Samantha had to do was show her ID. Alas, after the guard checked her ID, he extended his arm. She cannot go in. Samantha was shocked. What? Why? The rich guy defended her. This is my partner. Please, can you show some leniency and let her in? I'm sorry, sir, but our boss told us she can't be allowed inside. Since the host of this banquet banned Samantha, it had to mean there was something wrong with her. He only took her along because it was convenient. Unfortunately, he couldn't vouch for her now and risk his reputation. Sorry, Ms. Leiterman. You should go back now. Hey, can you talk to them for a bit? I really want to go in, Samantha pleaded, holding Mr. Boston's hand. Mr. Boston pulled her aside and whispered, I think you crossed someone you shouldn't. I have no power here, so you should leave. We'll talk later. I'm running late. Mr. Boston left, leaving Samantha behind. The reporters quickly snapped the scene. It was more than obvious that Samantha was denied entry. This was a good scoop. Samantha stood facing the winds awkwardly. She bit her lip and was reminded of what Harmony said. I wonder if you can even get in. Her face contorted in rage. You? Did you do this, you batch? Samantha knew it was Harmony. She hooked up with Ezekiel and had to have told him to deny Samantha entry. Damn it. I spent a lot of money on this dress. If I can't get in, I can't show it off. She had to stoop and call Harmony for help. Harmony was on the couch, taking a break. She heard her phone ring. Since she never logged Samantha's number in her contacts, she answered the call. Who is this? It's me, Samantha. Harmony, I'm sorry for saying all that to you. Can you please let me come in? I promise I won't get in your way. Harmony was stunned. She didn't think Samantha would beg for her mercy. Harmony sneered, Why? Are you begging me? It's funny you would think I'd help you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please. I spent $150 grand to rent this dress. I can't waste that money. We used to be friends. Please let me in. Harmony was reminded of how Samantha tried to seduce Ezekiel earlier that morning. So, she quickly made up her mind and said coldly, I won't let you in because I don't want to see you, Samantha. Then, she hung up without another word. Samantha felt herself going insane with fury as she cursed, Damn that batch. The banquet was lavish, resplendent. The clash between wealth and power happened everywhere. Jared, the heir apparent of the Presgraves, greeted all guests confidently. Ezekiel stood beside him. The two outstanding men attracted the ladies' attention. Harmony knew Ezekiel came from a rich and powerful family. Nonetheless, she had never known much of his family. She just knew he could get whatever he wanted with a snap of his fingers. The people talking to Ezekiel now were those Harmony saw in financial magazines. Those people were rich, but they looked like they were Ezekiel's subordinates when they talked to him. Harmony rested her chin on her hand. She was confused as she wondered if she would have a future with Ezekiel, and her insecurities started flaring. Even if she gained some achievements in the industry, they were nothing compared to Ezekiel's life. It was already good enough that she could have a man as brilliant as Ezekiel for a short while in her life. So she wouldn't ask that much as to stay with him his whole life. A pair of ladies sat beside Harmony, obviously coming from affluent families. They were also staring at Ezekiel. Look. Who's the hunk beside Mr. Presgrave? I've never seen him before. He's probably single. Then, we have a chance, right? We can give up on Presgrave. He loves his wife too much. Can't touch him. I can't believe a hot guy like him loves his wife so much. She should share her husband with other ladies. I heard a rich girl tried to start a scandal with Presgrave and be his mistress. Guess what happened to her? What? Her family went bankrupt. Presgrave did it. Or, to be exact, this Presgrave. Whoa. I envy his wife. Harmony was hearing the gossip about upper society quietly. She'd never heard about them before. Just then, a gorgeous girl pointed at Ezekiel. I will make him mine tonight. Harmony felt her heart clench as she looked at the wealthy lady. They were born to money and raised in opulence. Hence, they naturally exuded confidence. Even though Harmony was a public figure, these women wouldn't even look at her like she was an equal. The ladies then saw Harmony. She was beautiful, after all. You are, one of the ladies cocked her eyebrow. You're a celeb, aren't you? Didn't think they'd invite celebs. They were teasing Harmony out of boredom. Harmony smiled. I just came with a friend. This isn't a place anyone can get in. I bet you've gone through hoops. Oh, I remember now. You're Harmony Mayo, aren't you? The one who got famous because of that Asian film. I've watched it. Honestly, it's mediocre. I wonder how it became a hit. Harmony smiled as she said humbly, thanks for the comment. I'll keep working hard. I hate celebs, especially those who try to ride on the coattails of anything popular or related to the rich. If you have time, brush up on your acting. Don't try to get into circles you shouldn't be. It's tiring. The prettier lady wanted to mock Harmony because she was jealous of her beauty. Some people would get angry merely because someone had better looks than them, not because they felt genuinely slighted. Yeah. I can't believe celebs now would try to get into upscale banquets to make themselves look better instead of working on their acting. Just because they've joined a few banquets and red carpet events doesn't mean they're classy now. Harmony was rendered speechless. She had a feeling these ladies were attacking her. So, she decided to ignore them. It was then Ezekiel looked in her direction. The ladies quickly sat up as they giggled in excitement. That hottie's coming. A moment ago, they were mocking Harmony. Yet, they were smiling like noble ladies in the blink of an eye. It was obvious that they were desperate to get Ezekiel's attention. Harmony watched them put on their fake smiles. She raised her head and saw Ezekiel coming toward her. So, she smiled, welcoming him. It was then the ladies realized Ezekiel wasn't looking at them, he was looking at the woman beside them. They were so caught off guard that they stared at her, utterly slack-jawed. Harmony stood up gracefully, flashing a smile at them. I didn't crash the banquet, I came with my boyfriend. Now, if you'll excuse me, she said and made her way towards Ezekiel. Before she even reached him, he had already taken her hand and affectionately ruffled her hair. Sorry to have kept you waiting. It's all right. I'm happy to wait. Harmony beamed brightly. The two women behind her suddenly felt as if they had been slapped in the face by the silent air, feeling both embarrassed and hurt. They hadn't expected that their casual mockery of Harmony would backfire so spectacularly. This man, as handsome as the heir of the Presgrave family, was actually her boyfriend. Samantha, who had been driven out, could only return to her car, but her unwillingness made her determined to retaliate. Just now, her client had called to cancel the deal, she no longer needed to seduce Ezekiel and was given $15,000 as a consolation. $15,000 isn't even enough for me to buy a bag. It's so insulting. Samantha gritted her teeth in anger. All right, let's find the next target. Her agent handed her a file. 50 years old, just divorced, with assets around $700 million. If you can secure him, getting $30 million will be no problem. Samantha glanced at the photo, crossed her arms, and huffed, he's old and ugly. I won't do it. Why? Can Harmony find a wealthy hunk? What am I lacking? She was driven mad by Harmony. Harmony just got lucky. And we all know whether she can have the last laugh. She's only that rich. Sion's plaything. Certainly, he will be tired of her in a year at most. Samantha couldn't help but grit her teeth. You have no idea how much Mr. Weiss likes her. He only has eyes for her and no other women. If one day she becomes Mrs. Weiss, I'll be beneath her for the rest of my life. What do you want to do? I want to defeat her. I want to ruin her reputation and make her lose Mr. Weiss' favor. At that, she dialed a media person's number. I'll pay $150,000, you find all the dirt on Harmony and expose it again. Leave it to us. We'll tell a compelling story. Fabricate as much as you can, preferably turning her image into a rotten batch who will stop at nothing to climb the social ladder. Don't worry. We have plenty of material that fits her image. Finally, venting a bit of her frustration, Samantha exhaled a murky breath and said, "Better at last. Do you have no better use for that $150,000 than on the media?" Her agent sighed helplessly. Just then, Samantha picked up her phone to check the trending list and saw herself on it. The headline read, "Actress impeded at banquet, in a sorry state." I can't believe these reporters wrote about me like this. Samantha's chest heaved in anger as she demanded her agent, "Get this trending topic down. With such high traffic, it will cost at least $700,000 to get it down. Where do we get that kind of money? Just let it hang there. It's not the first time we've gone viral." The agent didn't want to deal with it anymore because Samantha wasn't making her any money. Samantha glared at the banquet hall of the hotel. This trending topic was all thanks to Harmony, she wouldn't let her off so easily. Meanwhile, at the banquet, Ezekiel introduced Harmony to Jared, and Harmony, being in the most prestigious circle, had only ever heard of Jared, a top-tier wealthy heir, but had no chance to meet him. Now, she realized that Ezekiel was on the same level as Jared. She was very humble and polite to the guests around Ezekiel, and indeed, she was a well-behaved companion. However, being unaccustomed to such occasions, she soon had a bit too much red wine and started feeling a bit lightheaded. Coupled with the pressure of the glamorous social scene, she began to experience a considerable amount of stress. "Ezekiel, I'm going to take a break over there. Come find me later," Harmony said to him. "Are you tired? Do you want to go home?" Ezekiel looked at her with concern. Harmony smiled. "I'm not tired. I just need some time to myself. You go ahead." Ezekiel indeed had many guests to attend to that night. He led her to a nearby couch and handed her a cup of warm water. "Don't drink any more wine, all right? Have some warm water instead." "Okay." Harmony nodded. She really needed some water. As soon as Ezekiel left, the two ladies from earlier suddenly appeared, sitting on either side of her. "Miss Mayo, we're sorry about earlier. We didn't mean to offend you." "Yes, please don't take it personally." Harmony didn't expect them to come over and apologize. She smiled faintly. "It's okay. Is that your boyfriend? What's his name? Which family is he from?" They hadn't managed to find out about Ezekiel's background, so they decided to check with Harmony. Upon hearing their apology, Harmony realized they were trying to find out about Ezekiel through her, and she retorted, "Are you interested in my boyfriend?" The two girls blushed awkwardly for a few seconds, then chuckled, "We just want to get to know him. We won't steal your boyfriend. If you're curious, find out for yourselves. I just want some peace." Harmony didn't bother to be polite. The two girls had no choice but to leave. They had actually gotten in through connections and didn't come from affluent families. They were hoping to meet some wealthy young men here. Looking at Ezekiel in the crowd, dazzling and charming, Harmony suddenly felt overwhelmed, feeling that she didn't deserve a man like him. She was unworthy, for he was absolutely outstanding. She had always been self-aware, knowing her worth and living a clear-headed life. Suddenly, her phone buzzed with a message. It was from Sarah, forwarding a trending post from Samantha. Looking at Samantha in the photo, Harmony didn't feel any pleasure or pride. She just thought the malice in this circle was too heavy. She just wanted to focus on acting, love her career, and earn some money. This was why she had always stayed true to her original intention and didn't fight for anything. Her popularity was the result of her hard work, and her acting skills were recognized because of her dedication. There were all sorts of speculations about her sleeping with directors and executives to climb up the ladder, but she was too exhausted to argue at this point. At this moment, an old rumor about her sleeping with directors and executives resurfaced online, suddenly gaining popularity. Alas, her current fame and status had brought her old rumors back into the spotlight. Out of boredom, she swiped her phone to check the news, only to see her own scandal, and she clenched her fists in anger. These people just won't let it go. Just then, a message from Sarah came in. Harmony, ignore the rumors online. I suspect someone deliberately paid to spread them. Harmony had recently offended quite a few people, including Catalina, Samantha, and various individuals competing with her for resources. So, she didn't need to guess who it was specifically. But to say it didn't affect her mood was impossible. Reading the comments from netizens was quite upsetting. After exchanging greetings with Jared, Ezekiel approached Harmony. Seeing her looking bored and frowning, he couldn't help but feel guilty and thought bringing her to these business banquets was a mistake. Next time, he wouldn't force her to join him and would let her rest at home instead. Sensing someone approaching, Harmony lifted her head and saw that it was Ezekiel. Quickly, she stashed her phone into her bag, not wanting him to see the negative rumors circulating online. Come on, let's go home, Ezekiel suggested. Seeing her face unnaturally flushed, he reached out to help her up while checking her forehead with his free hand. Harmony was just a bit tipsy and woozy from too much red wine, not sick. No fever, but your face is red. Are you feeling stuffy? Ezekiel asked with concern. Harmony shook her head. No. She was flushed with anger, genuinely upset by the negative rumors. Indeed, she felt much better after stepping outside with Ezekiel and feeling the natural night breeze. Dressed in an evening gown, she looked exceptionally charming, and her figure was perfect for such a curve-revealing attire. Once they got into the car, they headed straight back to the hotel. Harmony didn't want to think about anything at the moment. She just leaned on the man's shoulder and dozed off. Ezekiel held her shoulder, occasionally lowering his head to check on her. Once they reached their hotel room, Harmony turned her back to him. Can you pull the zipper down for me? Ezekiel reached out to unzip her dress. Having admired her all night, he couldn't resist leaning down to plant a kiss on her fair shoulder. Harmony squirmed. Don't kiss there. Where should I kiss, then? The man asked with a low chuckle. Harmony didn't dare to respond to his provocative words. She turned around with a smile. I'm going to change into my pajamas. Ezekiel watched her escape into the room. He didn't chase after her, knowing that she was his and couldn't escape. Harmony came out in a short, spaghetti-strapped nightgown, feeling more relaxed in front of Ezekiel. Now. His gaze was once again drawn to her, and he reached out to hold her slender waist. Harmony looked up, her face slightly flushed from the wine, her eyes alluring. She truly looked like a ripe peach. Ezekiel held the back of her head and leaned in for a kiss. Having just taken off his suit, he was now in a white shirt, exuding a strong masculine charm. It was another wonderful yet exhausting night, and Harmony thought she would break in two from her waist. In the morning, she received a call from Sarah. They were to meet with the director to discuss the script. Okay, I'll be there, Harmony assured. Where are you going? Ezekiel overheard Harmony's call as he came out of the shower. I have to meet with the director today, so I can't have lunch with you, she explained. She had just gotten out of bed and immediately felt soreness in her waist. Seeing that, Ezekiel felt guilty for being too wild last night. You should rest if your waist is sore. You can meet the director another day, Ezekiel suggested, concerned. Harmony's professionalism wouldn't allow her to skip the meeting. She shook her head. No, I have to go. He was so accomplished, how could she slack off? While she couldn't compare to him, she had to strive to improve. I'll drive you then. No need. My chauffeur will come and pick me up. Harmony didn't want to trouble him. Deep down, Ezekiel really wanted to tell her that he wanted to support her for the rest of their lives, and all she needed to do was be his woman. But he couldn't say it out loud, for he respected Harmony's decisions. Even if she wanted to continue working and acting, he respected her. He wouldn't suppress her passions or confine her. Respecting her in every way was the essence of his love for her. "Okay, call me when you're done with work, and I'll come pick you up." "Okay. Thank you, Ezekiel." Harmony kissed him on the cheek. Meanwhile, Samantha was still in the hotel. She was eager to know how Ezekiel would react to Harmony's negative rumors. Would he be angry? Would he find Harmony repulsive? However, the hotel was too expensive, and she couldn't afford to stay any longer. She had to check out before noon. Regardless, she wished Harmony would be kicked out by him right now. Harmony left to meet the director, and Ezekiel decided to visit his grandmother and have lunch with her. In the lobby, Samantha, who was checking out, looked up and saw a man coming out of the elevator. Her heart raced with excitement. She couldn't believe her luck, she had run into Ezekiel here. Not only her, but also the female staff members were thrilled. Catching a glimpse of such a handsome man could surely add years to their lives. Emboldened, Samantha walked over to intercept Ezekiel. "Mr. Weiss, could you spare a moment for a chat?" she asked. "What is it?" Frost instantly filled Ezekiel's eyes upon seeing her. "Mr. Weiss, please don't believe the online smear campaign against Harmony. I believe she's not like that. She's a hard worker and would never use her sexuality to get ahead," Samantha deliberately said. Sure enough, Ezekiel faltered for a moment. Samantha continued, "Truly, I trust Harmony's character. She's a virtuous person. Even though there's evidence of her entering the director's room late at night, I believe they were just discussing the script. There's absolutely no way she would engage in any unethical behavior." Meanwhile, she was overjoyed inside, believing she was effectively tarnishing Harmony's reputation. She never thought she would have the chance to smear Harmony directly to Ezekiel. This was her payback for last night's incident. "I don't want to hear about this." "Move aside," Ezekiel said irritably. Samantha quickly stepped aside. "Take care, Mr. Weiss." Watching Ezekiel's retreating figure, a triumphant smile curled up at the corners of her lips. "Harmony. Just you wait. I'll make Ezekiel despise you." Ezekiel got into his car and started scrolling through Harmony's news on his tablet. He quickly came across the latest scandal, which claimed she had entered the director's room and attended banquets with executives. He furrowed his brows deeply. No matter who spread the rumors, he would believe in Harmony's innocence. That said, he would never let those who maliciously tarnished her reputation off the hook either. Back in the lobby, Samantha had just finished checking out. Little did she know, she had just made herself a ticket to prison, for Ezekiel wasn't someone who would tolerate harm to those he cared about. Meanwhile, Harmony was sitting in front of the director, having a successful discussion about the script. The director also highly praised her acting skills. "Harmony, the internet is buzzing with negative news about you. Do you want to do some PR katha?" Director Heath Letterford asked, as it was affecting their collaboration. "Mr. Letterford, please trust Harmony. She's not that kind of person," Sarah said. "I do trust you, but it would be better if you could handle this." Sarah smiled. "Don't worry. We'll take care of it. Because a certain someone would never allow such a thing to happen." At 3 p.m., Ezekiel called after finishing the script discussion. She picked up. "Ezekiel. Are you done?" Ezekiel asked. "Yes, we're done. Are you here? Come with me somewhere later. There are other matters to discuss." "Other matters?" Harmony was a bit confused, but she agreed, "Okay." "Are you going somewhere later?" Sarah asked, curious. Harmony smiled, "I might have to take care of some business with Ezekiel." 10 minutes later, Ezekiel's car arrived. Harmony and Sarah went downstairs, only to find several media reporters waiting for her. They had somehow gotten wind of her presence and were waiting for her. Miss Mayo, is the negative news about you on the internet true? Do you need to clarify it yourself? Yes. Please answer this question directly. Can you give an explanation to your fans and netizens? Harmony was momentarily cornered. Sarah was in front, pushing away the reporters and media personnel. Excuse us, please stop taking pictures. Harmony is as clean as a whistle. Miss Mayo, how did you obtain the international script? Some people claim that you slept around to achieve success. What is your response to these allegations? The reporters asked more audacious questions. Noticing that she was unaccompanied by bodyguards or anyone else, they asked whatever questions came to mind. As long as Harmony provided a response, they could create a story and profit from the attention. To their dismay, 3 black SUVs suddenly approached like a gust of wind out of nowhere, and 6 tall bodyguards emerged from the vehicles, forming a barrier between the reporters and Harmony. A tall and handsome figure stepped forward, taking Harmony's hand and glaring coldly at the media. Personnel. Let's go. Harmony immediately felt a strong sense of security and departed with Ezekiel. The media quickly snapped a few photos until they were out of sight. Who was that man just now? He doesn't seem to be one of our local scions. We have been investigating for so long and still cannot ascertain his identity. It's quite mysterious. At this moment, as Harmony was being escorted into the car by Ezekiel, he inquired, "Did any of them touch you?" Harmony shook her head. "No, they were just bothersome." "Is it because of the negative rumors circulating online?" Ezekiel suddenly asked. Harmony widened her beautiful eyes. "You? How did you know? Did you see it?" Ezekiel nodded. "I read everything, and I will ensure that those who defame you face the consequences." Harmony nervously grasped his hand. "You don't believe it, do you?" "Ezekiel, I haven't. I haven't been taken advantage of by anyone, and I haven't resorted to any unethical methods to get ahead." Ezekiel's gaze locked onto her, his large hand gently covering her lips, his arm pulling her into his embrace. "Shoo, say no more. I believe you. I will make those who spread rumors pay. I want everyone who seeks to frame you to understand the repercussions." Tears welled up in Harmony's eyes. She pursed her red lips but couldn't prevent the tears from falling. Ezekiel gently wiped away her tears. "There's no need to cry over this. From now on, I won't allow anyone to bully you." At this moment, 6 imposing bodyguards entered a private press company. Even the security guards couldn't impede them and stood aside, trembling. "Who are you?" "Summon your boss," one of them said in English. "Our boss is not in. If your boss doesn't appear within a minute, we will start vandalizing your company." Can you afford to pay for the damages if you destroy our company?" A female team leader stepped forward angrily. Just then, a cold voice retorted, "I can afford to demolish your company 100 times over." All the employees who were observing were shocked to discover that the tall, handsome man was holding the hand of the woman they had collectively smeared earlier, Harmony. Oh my God! Why is Harmony here? Harmony had been informed by Ezekiel in the car that this company was responsible for the smear campaign against her. She was furious at the moment. "Please summon your person in charge. I want to confront them in person and demand an explanation for the extensive defamation I have endured online. If you fail to provide an explanation, I will see you in court," she snarled. At this moment, all the employees were overwhelmed with guilt. They had merely followed orders from above and written numerous articles to defame Harmony that day. They never expected that the person they targeted would show up with 6 towering bodyguards. At this point, the manager hiding in the office had no choice but to appear. He immediately approached and apologized in a low voice. "Miss Mayo, I am so sorry. It was our inexperienced staff who acted without thinking and offended you. We will promptly remove all content related to you immediately." Harmony sneered. "Don't think you can use your interns as scapegoats. I want to know who bribed you to defame me. If you reveal the mastermind behind this, I might consider showing leniency." The manager, who had accepted a bribe of $150,000 from Samantha, was quick to deny any wrongdoing. Nervously, he laughed. No, we would never engage in such activities." However, his guilty demeanor was impossible to hide. Ezekiel sneered. "In that case, your whole company can forget about escaping. Wait for my lawyer to arrive." "Sir, this has nothing to do with us. We were just following the manager's orders." "That's right, we were just doing what he told us to do during the morning meeting. He found these articles for us, and we were only responsible for uploading them." The employees immediately turned against the manager, pointing fingers at him. The manager broke out in a cold sweat. Harmony was determined to find the person behind the scenes. She seized the opportunity to say, "Sir, it seems you can take all the blame. If you're not sentenced to 3 to 5 years, I'll be surprised." Cold sweat began dripping down the manager's face, and he quickly turned to Harmony. "Miss Mayo, how about we settle this privately? Our company is willing to compensate you $150,000 and issue a public apology immediately. What do you say? Do you think I'm short of money?" Harmony responded coldly. "I won't settle this privately, and I don't want money or an apology. I just want you to serve 5 years in prison." No, Miss Mayo, the manager certainly didn't want to go to jail. "Tell me then, who's behind this smear campaign against me?" Harmony stared at him. Ezekiel didn't intervene, knowing that Harmony could handle this better. The manager, realizing he could no longer hide the truth, finally confessed. It was Samantha. She called me this morning to smear you. I was just doing what I was paid to do. I didn't really want to smear you." Harmony clenched her fists. "Samantha, do you have evidence? Hand them all to me." Harmony demanded. "Yes, I have text messages, her voice recordings, and the record of the money transfer. I didn't delete anything. I'll screenshot everything and save it for you now." The manager quickly found a nearby computer and sent all the text messages, Samantha's voice recordings, and the money transfer record to Harmony. After receiving the USB drive, Harmony turned to the manager. "If I need you to testify, don't try to evade it. Otherwise, I won't let you off." "I wouldn't dare, Miss Mayo. I'll testify immediately if you need me." The manager quickly responded, hoping to shift the trouble onto Samantha. After Harmony left with the evidence, the manager's assistant quickly handed him a piece of paper. "Here, sir, wipe your sweat." The manager heaved a sigh of relief. "I didn't expect Harmony to be so tough." At this moment, Samantha, having lost the job of seducing Ezekiel, was planning to move on to other men as she was running low on funds. In such a tense situation, she still spent $150,000 to smear Harmony, which pained her greatly. Just as she was in the spa, the police came knocking on her door. "Are you Samantha Leiterman?" Samantha was startled and quickly opened her eyes. "How can I help you?" "Please get dressed and come with us." Samantha had just spent tens of thousands on maintenance, but what came after her weight now was the police. She considered herself law-abiding. Even if she did seduce men, it wasn't illegal either. "What do you want with me?" "I'm a law-abiding citizen." "You're involved in a case of defamation through monetary transactions." "Come with us," the officer said. Samantha was shocked. "What? How is that possible? I've never done such a thing." To avoid being forcibly taken away by the police, Samantha had no choice but to cooperate and get into the police car. At the same time, she quickly contacted her agent to come to the police station to bail her out. On the way, Samantha racked her brains but couldn't figure out what law she had broken, and it wasn't until she walked into the police station and saw Harmony getting out of the car that she was completely stunned.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.